Welcome to Carpe's Corner, so happy that you're here. So take a seat, have a tea, or grab yourself a beer. Here at Carpe's Corner, we'll learn about our lives. And in between, you might decide to exercise your rights. It's Carpe's Corner. Carpe's Corner, don't forget reviews. Comment, like, and subscribe is all you gotta do. Here at Carpe's Corner, please appreciate our guests. And just remember, everyone's got something on their chest. In Carpe's Corner.
Hello, everybody. I am CarpeDonktum, and I am here with my very special guest, Mr. Wayne Dupree. And let's get him on here. Mr. Wayne Dupree, can everybody hear you? How are you doing?
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we have to do this. Can everybody hear you? Because last time it was just it was awful. Nobody could hear me. Everything was falling apart. It was ridiculous. And I haven't had any other problems like that since. I did a test last night. It was perfect. So how are we doing, Wayne?
We are fine. It's a Friday, and we're getting ready for the weekend. Well, actually, we've been on weekend for the last 6-7 weeks. So
yeah, it's been one long weekend. How are you keeping track of the days?
I'm not.
Not?
I'm
yeah.
not.
Most of the time.
My sleep schedule is off, man.
Yeah.
It's off. As a matter of fact, I just woke up to do this.
Well, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. You woke up just to say hi to me. Wake up, Wayne. Wake up. What's been so weird is like the loss of time. And, we have so much more time now because of all the shutdown and stuff, but it doesn't really feel like that because, like, what are you going to do with it? Like, this is one of the weirdest things that we have more time than we've ever had before and nothing to do with it. We can't go out to places. We have to stay home.
Well, I've turned it into a plus because, I've turned it into a plus because I've gotten to know the kids a whole lot more. I've got, and I've spent a whole lot of more time with them. I've spent a whole lot of time away from them because, they get on your nerves too.
Right.
And, they have turned into some serious cooks. Everybody knows that I cook, but watching them cook, I'm like, wait a minute. This stuff looks good, even though
You got like chef level. Are they going to be on Chopped next month?
I'm telling you, man, they looking good. They are looking good. That's all I gotta say.
I think I left my notifications on. That's not good. You ever done that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I just got one and I thought it was you.
Oh, I thought it was you. So, no, I've done interviews and then about halfway through I just get like a stream of messages and I swear it's somebody just trying to screw me up. They see the ding and then they're like, oh my God, I can text them like 15 times. But so
I will say this. I will say this because somebody just texted me just a few minutes ago because I think that they're watching you. Mm-hmm. And they said that I can't find your Facebook page. Well, my Facebook page was hacked last night, but it is back up and running. So if you go back Facebook.com/Wayne Dupree Show. You'll be able to see it. But um, I was kidding about the sleeping. Well, no, actually, I wasn't kidding about the sleeping, but I did spend a better part of the morning trying to put things back together. And shout out to my Facebook contact for conservatives who went to bat for me overnight. But yeah, if you aren't seeing it, just hit refresh. It's Facebook.com/Wayne Dupree Show. So thank you so much. All right.
And did they do any damage?
They removed me as Facebook admin. They removed me as they put me all the way down to an analyst.
You're an analyst on your own show. I see. Yeah, that works.
I was like, wait a minute. And it was hard for me to get sleep, and that's why I had a little bit of long sleep this morning. But I woke up about 3 or something and saw that the page had been taken down.
Yeah.
So Facebook was doing their thing in removing and restarting. So, I mean, look, I know Facebook gets a bad rap here and there, but they did
a good job of taking care of it.
Yeah, they did.
It would be nice if so I've had my own battles with Facebook. I had a CarpeDonktum page that I had started a separate account just to manage this page because at that time I was still semi-anonymous and nobody knew who I was. I didn't want to use my personal page as an admin, and they flagged my account and took my account down and said you have to provide me with an ID to show that that's your name, and so that page ended up getting taken down, and then I started a new one with my own personal Facebook. And that's fine, but I can't add my Instagram because it's still connected to this page that doesn't even exist anymore. And I've messaged him 100 times. I messaged him just the other day saying, "Hey, can we get that taken down so I can add all my stuff to it?" And I don't get any response. But
I'll send you my contact in because somebody sent me my contact, so I'll send you the
there
contact.
We go. Pay it forward.
There you go. There you go.
And what time is your show now?
Well, right now, I'm getting back into doing it. I stopped just as soon as the lockdown started. I stopped because, honestly, I turned off news and I started watching business more than I watch news because when you watch the news, it's partisan this, partisan that, partisan that.
Right.
And I didn't want to hear all that mess. So I started watching the business channel. And watching that, I was starting to get intrigued with a whole lot of, I was like, wow, look at it. Wow, okay. Well, and stocks are going down and going down and going down.
Right.
But I noticed that it wasn't because of the economy. It was because of the coronavirus and no vaccine, no, the different people were the unsurety of that. And even though President Trump was trying to help the American people by putting in, money here, money there, money there, the stocks kept going down. And everybody's like, wait a minute, what's going on? Because the banks were okay.
Right.
Different things were okay. And everyone was like, what's going on? Well, it was the insurity of the coronavirus. So I started watching that and I stopped doing my show. I was watching that thing on and on and on. I couldn't take my eyes off of it. But I just started back again. And right now we're just doing Tuesday and Thursdays, starting at 12, a 30-minute show. But we're going to get back into doing an hour within the next month, and it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So and most of the time it'll be between 12 and 1. So
okay,
we're early.
We're sort of in your time slot right now.
Right after.
Yeah, right after. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was I wanted to extend this invitation to you, not just because you're fun to talk to, but you were one of the first people that ever gave me an opportunity to go on a show. So I wanted to thank you for that. That was, oh man, that was early 2019, I think January.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And when did we met? We met a year before that, was it? I think it was a year.
Yeah.
I think we met at the American Priority.
No, we met before that, I think.
Did
right?
we? Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't. It's been so long ago. I do remember. I think it was the American Priority where Hoaxed was, because that was my first big thing, where I actually big event that I attended, and we had dinner, had lunch, hung out with you. Mm. That was not a really well attended event. This last time was a little better, but
here, you mean here in DC?
Yeah, the DC one.
It was okay to be the first one, though.
I
mean, it was the first one, and nobody really knew what to expect. And are you in Florida?
No, I'm in Kansas. I'm in the middle of nowhere, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but they're growing. They're growing. So.
Yeah, and the last one that they had was in at
Florida.
In Florida, and that one was actually pretty well attended. Had a good time. Were you down there? I don't remember if I saw you or not. No. that little head shake. No. And
I was supposed to be.
I thought you were on the guest list.
I was, and a whole lot of information got lost in translation, lost in the shuffle, and by the time everything got corrected, it was like, okay, well, you got to buy your ticket. It's only a week to go.
Right.
Those prices are, we'll pay up to a certain amount. That's all right.
That's not how Wayne rolls.
That's all right. I mean, honestly, because of what I was promised, honestly, if I had known like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time, I probably could have got the ticket and everything would have been fine. But a week to go, those prices.
Right. Yeah, don't ever try and book a last minute. Well, right now you can book a last minute flight to anywhere.
Yeah.
But so we were talking about Facebook and all that stuff, and we've had this discussion before. Mm-hmm. But where do you stand on the censorship and what we need to do about it? Because I think we have a difference of opinion, but we're not that far off between you and me of tech.
We need to stop complaining.
There you go.
We need to stop complaining. It's their playground.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. Because it makes us look weak. Or at least that's what I think. It makes us look weak. I was talking the other night. The Democrats tried to take over radio back in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. They tried to force people like Sean Hannity and Mark Levin and Rush Limbaugh.
Right.
They tried to force them to be fair and report
with fairness doctrine, right?
Right, the fairness doctrine. That didn't work, so they created their own radio network, but nobody listened to them. I mean, so they left it. And if you really listen to a whole lot of AM radio, conservative talk shows rule. They rule. I mean, people sit in their chairs on the porches and stuff and turn on the radio and they listen to those voices, and you have your conservative mainstream. So what did liberals do? They created social media platforms,
right?
And they did it. I think they did it, and I really think they did this on purpose because they knew that a whole lot of Republicans were going to try to use it. And then when Republicans started using it, then they start putting in these rules as things went along. You see what I'm saying? As things went along, they start shutting down the Republican talk. So my thing is, we have a whole lot of rich people in the Republican Party. You can't tell. I mean, they're no. Shit. This is not a party of paupers, you know.
Right.
It's not a party of winos and prostitutes or anything like that. You have people that have money. These people need to be creating platforms that rival, and they can do it, that rival Twitter, that rival Facebook. And there are some out there. There are some out there.
Right.
The problem is that a lot of us don't want to. People don't like change.
Right.
People don't like change, and they like what they're comfortable with. You know, some people use the excuse, well, if Donald Trump ain't going anywhere, I ain't going anywhere. Well, before Donald Trump was president, y'all didn't go anywhere. Y'all stayed on Twitter and Facebook anyway.
Right.
So it's not because of Trump. Is people are comfortable with Twitter. They're comfortable with Facebook, even though they say, I'm boycotting. And when the cameras are off, let me get on here and, you know, use my Facebook and stuff. Yeah. So, well, no, I mean, we have rich people on this side. I ain't one, but they can go ahead and create platforms that will rival these and make a whole lot of money and become the benchmark for an alternative voice. They just don't want to do it. They want to spend all their money on trying to make liberals look stupid on college campuses.
Well, so let me put my alternative view on it here. And you're right that there's plenty of money to put into social media and things like that just doesn't happen on the Republican side. But at the same time, I think what makes social media so effective is that we're all in the same place, especially like Twitter. Everybody's all in the same place. You've got liberals, celebrities. You've got people from from the right, from the left. You've also got people that are like in the government of other countries, things like that. And what you can't reproduce in another platform is all of those people mixed into one, because you would have to create something that's better than Twitter, because you would want those people to join that, and people that are already on Twitter are not going to join something that's just the same as Twitter, but their voice isn't as loud.
Let me ask you something, because you're saying that all of us are together on Twitter, but they're tribal.
There's tribalness for sure. Like that's
so
it's a little bit of tribalness, but
they're all on Twitter, but they're separated on Twitter. I mean, like me and you were talking the other day. Not that we have a different view on things, but I haven't seen anything from you for about a year,
right,
or a year and a half.
Yeah, and I said the same back to you, that I haven't seen anything of yours on Twitter.
Yeah, it's like, but wait a minute, we think the same. We have the same people and stuff like that. But why haven't I seen anything from Carpe? So I'm like,
well, we're sort of in different. There's bubbles. There's definitely bubbles.
Yeah, there's a lot of bubbles.
And like you're going to be in a slightly different bubble than I am. You know, I've got a lot of the trolls and the meme people that are all sort of surrounding me. I don't know. What's your bubble look like?
My bubble is kind of burst these days. I really, I mean, honestly, I have a mix. I have a mix of people because actually my thought process has been changed over the past couple of years too, about how I think about things. You have your Trump supporters,
right?
You have your Trump followers. You have people that want real talk. And then you have individuals that just want to poke and pry and start trouble. So, I mean, I have a lot of people, different types, but I try to stick with news and news, politics, entertainment type stuff. So,
we've talked about that. What's your definition of a Trump supporter versus a Trump follower?
I'm a Trump supporter because I support him. I voted for him. I believed in him.
Right.
But I do think that there's a difference. Like I said, I'm a Trump supporter because I don't agree with everything that he says. I mean, but you don't see me going out here and creating a whole big shindig. God damn, man, you're wrong. You're wrong. Now, I might say that in the comfort of my own home. I might yell at the TV. God, man, I can't believe you just did that. But when it comes to a Trump follower, a Trump follower just accepts anything. A Trump follower accepts anything. We used to call them Obama bots, and they don't want to call President Trump out on anything. I mean, right. Everything he does is okay. And the reason why he did it is because he was attacked. It's like, all right. It's not even a fine line. It's either you're going to be an American who says, okay, this is what I want in a leader. And right. If the leader is wrong, I'm going to call the leader out. Either you're going to be that person or you're going to be the cheerleader that would accept anything blindly. And, but it sort of makes you a hypocrite if you call out the other side. If you were going along the 8 years saying, Barack Obama, actually chastising his followers, you agree with everything he says. There's nothing wrong. If that was you with Obama 8 years ago, and you're doing that now with Trump, what's the difference?
Right. Well, and so I agree with what you're saying there about the difference between like followers and supporters, and I would consider myself a supporter. Mm-hmm. And I don't agree with everything that he's ever done, and I don't think it's my place to. It's not my job to agree with everything that he's ever said or everything he's ever done. I think what is sort of what makes it even more difficult to walk that line is that he has so few staunch supporters out there that will actually support him, and he's got some people in the media, a few people in the media, but there's such an overwhelming attack on him that when I feel like I should call him out, sometimes I'm like, he takes enough crap for all the stuff that he doesn't do that maybe I should hold back just a little bit on the stuff that sort of here nor there kind of stuff. And I think that there's a lot of people that end up falling into that follower category just because they feel like he's had enough already. Like he doesn't need to hear any more crap from them. But I do think it is important that people that support him also tell him when he's wrong.
But see, I see it a whole lot different. I see more cheerleaders.
Right.
I see more cheerleaders, especially on Fox, different podcasts, different radio people, different things, everything. I mean, they are even if he comes back and, well, actually, he doesn't say that he's wrong, but if he comes, President Trump doesn't say he's wrong. He just takes another direction on something else. Okay. And they do the same thing. They won't say he's wrong, but if he switches direction, which is in contradictory to what he said before, they'll be like, oh, well, trust the plan. That's where he's supposed to, So, I mean, I see more of them than I do supporters. I see a lot more followers on social media. And, I mean, look, God bless them. I mean, if that's what they want to do, then fine, go ahead and do that. But I'm going to call them out when a Democrat takes office again. And then they start, yelling at Democrat followers for doing the same thing.
Right.
It's a game. It's a game, and sometimes you just get tired. You just get tired of watching these leaders play us like puppets and play us like children, to where they can do whatever they want to and know that they're going to get support. They're going
right.
They're going to
like Congress. Congress does nothing. I think one of the worst things that happened in the last 3 or 4 years here was when we had the House and the Senate, and the GOP just did nothing. They just sat on their hands for 2 years and didn't do a single thing.
Oh no! Wait a minute, because, and I did call them out on this one too. And they passed $1 trillion omnibus, and then came right back 10 months later and passed another $1 trillion $2.5 trillion.
Right.
In 10 months. And y'all supposed to be fiscal conservative.
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me. But the followers said, we ain't trust the plan. It's for the military. And wait, hold on. The military's going to be taken care of. This is President Trump. They're going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
So don't throw that up in my face about the $1 trillion, because a few months before that, they were like, well, Barack Obama's out of office. He spent $10 trillion while he was in office. Well, Republicans gave Trump $2 trillion right off the bat. That money starts getting compacted under him now. I mean, what? The first stimulus was $2 trillion. Then they passed $1 trillion. After that, then they passed less than 500 billion.
Right.
Okay. And now Nancy Pelosi's talking about another $3 trillion. And then there's another $2 trillion on top of that for infrastructure. I'm keeping ahead of this because I'm like, where in the hell is this money coming from?
Well, it's very complicated where this money coming from. It's coming from the nooks and crannies and all that kind of stuff. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about Wayne, and they're gonna find it. They've got these piggy banks that they've been holding on to.
It kills me because, like I said, I've been getting close to my children, talking to them and stuff. The money that they are spending right now is going to hurt them, their children, and then their children after that. We haven't even paid off the first $1 trillion of the debt yet. We haven't even paid that off, and they've already the national debt is already over $25 trillion already. It's already over $25 trillion. And I remember when Trump was running, he was like, the national debt, if it ever gets to 24 trillion, boy, we're in trouble. Well, we're at 25.
Right.
25, and the Democrats know what they're doing because they're going to lay this blame on President Trump in November. Now, they aren't going to win, but they're going to lay this blame on President Trump in November. They're going to be like, look at all this extra spending that the Republicans did. And what do we have? Millions of people out of work.
Well, it's a giant shell game that they're playing with all of this stuff. They want to spend the money, and
they're gonna blame him.
And everything is his fault. You know that everything is always his fault. It doesn't matter. I mean, the coronavirus was his fault because apparently he brought it over here from China or something. But what I find so disgusting about politics, and I'm sort of new to politics. This is my fourth year of doing any sort of politics, and I don't think I realized just how alike the right and left are as far as like Congress.
Yeah.
The congressional people they're just so bad. Like, and what's funny about this is this conversation that we're having right now. There will be people that will be mad at both of us because we were not supportive enough. But I support all of the Republicans and all of the Trump administration and all that stuff. But at the same time, we have to get things done, and things are not getting done. There hasn't been a single thing done in Congress in God knows how many days.
Right. Right.
And
I mean, use this. Use this for me. Use this for me. I served this country. I served this country in the United States Air Force for 8 years. I didn't serve it for a president, and I damn sure didn't serve it for Congress. I served it for the American people.
Right.
So when I see anybody in Congress or anybody in the White House hurt the American people, I get pissed off. And then I want to yell at the top of the highest mountain. Now, I do believe President Trump loves the American people, and I
think
believe
so too.
He's trying everything in his best to make America great, make the name great, make it shiny like it used to be, instead of the coat of ugliness that happened under Clinton, Bush, and Obama. I do believe that President Trump is trying to get all that mildew, all that fungus and gungus off of the American name and make it great. But the only problem is that you got people that don't want it great, and those people, those individuals, are slamming him every time that he is trying to make America prominent again.
Right.
So, I mean, if people want to get mad with us because we're gonna call things down the middle, that's their problem. Me, you are accountable for bringing the truth or bringing the facts and opinions that we find to the American people. And it's okay, now make your informed decision.
Right. I think we just lost Periscope, so I started it up again.
Okay.
Isn't that shocking?
I didn't curse, I don't think.
No. You can do pretty much anything you want on Periscope. Actually, as far as freedom and flag waving, I'm all about Periscope, because they let me broadcast. I used to do that a meme show where I would go and I'd just show memes, and I could do a 2-hour broadcast where I just played nothing but videos and stuff, and they'd never take my stream down. But I go on YouTube for 5 seconds and show like a video that has a song in it, and they just pull the stream down. So I give Periscope a lot of credit for just leaving me alone, which is really what I want. But back to your point, that I think that there's a place for cheerleading, and there's also a place for just being realistic.
Right.
And you got to walk that fine line. And I think that in politics today, it's really hard to find people that are willing to do both and do it well. And I think that you're one of those people. I know that you sometimes get painted as, that guy who's always trashing Trump or whatever. But I don't think that's a fair or accurate thing to say.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy because if I have never trashed Trump.
Right. Yeah.
And for people with hurt feelings to say that, I mean, honestly, really, it really doesn't bother me, because if people come out and say that, then people really don't know me.
Well, you can't let people bother you. I mean, there's too many people that you can't just let people derail you.
Right, exactly. But when I see that, I kind of shake my head on the inside. I was like, and I'm like, how in the world am I? If you really want me to trash him, I could trash him if I really wanted to. I could trash anybody. I mean,
right.
that's anything. But there's so many times that I bit my lip and shut things off so that I won't hear certain things. So that when I go live, then I was like, oh, really? He said that? Really? What? But for the most part, I voted for him.
Right.
I support him. So that means that any mistakes that he makes is mistakes that I make too.
Right. Well, yeah, everything reflects back on you.
Right. on all of us, you know. I mean,
well, and that's something that I've really tried to like get people to understand about. Like, when you get someone talking to you about how can you support this thing, and I'm like, it's not my job to support everything. It's my job is to support what I support, and I'm giving him help wherever I can. But I don't have to moralize or defend anybody. I don't have to defend you.
right.
I don't have to defend. The only person that I have to defend is my own choices,
Right.
and that's something that is just completely lost. And that's what the left tries to do right now is paint everybody with this big broad brush of, well, if you support this, then you also support this, which is something that I get attacked for having opinions that I've never had before. Like
Yeah.
you think this, and I'm like, well, I didn't say that. I've never said that, and I don't actually believe
The right,
that.
hey, the right does that too, though.
Oh,
The right does
absolutely.
that too.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I came after President Trump, so many people on the right. Well, we were going to invite you to this conference, but never mind. You support Trump.
You are uninvited.
Oh well, you're not a real conservative because he's not a conservative. Where'd that come from? You're not a Christian.
Right.
What? And this has come from people on the right. So I mean, it's look, you damn if you do, and you damn if you don't. Either way, as long as I believe in what I believe in, when I lay my head down on the pillow and when I pick it up when I get up, I'm fine, man. I'm fine. I don't have to be. I never really wanted to be out there, big time in the public.
Right.
So I'm cool. I'm cool and letting people hear my opinions. I used to watch C-SPAN or listen to C-SPAN all the time, or these talk shows, and I would try to get on there, and I couldn't get on there.
Call in, like the call in part at the end.
Yeah, man, I had a whole lot to say. They used to have me on hold.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I want to talk about that. So I use this platform. Right, I'm going to talk about it.
Right.
I'm talking about, and there's always somebody out there that believes in what you say, or is on that same track that of what you believe, and then there are people that aren't. Don't get mad because people don't agree with you. We're all different.
What do you think of how black conservatives are treated by the media?
It's so funny you said that. It's so funny you said that because we're invisible to the media, but we aren't not treated all that great by conservatives either.
That's real.
I mean, that's why I laugh, because the conservative movement, well, not the conservative, the Republican movement, they will find the latest and greatest black conservative, put them up, as long as they're speaking conservative talking points. They'll put them up, promote them until the next best thing comes along, and then they throw them away.
So what I've noticed, and what I don't like is, and I've caught myself doing this as well, of when there is a black conservative that is just speaking truth. I want to champion that person, and there's a little bit of that is sort of self-serving, just because I want to show liberals that there are black conservatives out there, and so I grasp onto that really strongly, and it has nothing to do with some sort of racism. It's all about, like, you've been telling us for decades that black people can only vote Democrat, that they can only think in democratic terms, and I want to show you that that's not the case. So I completely understand how that happens as well in Republican Inc., even though I don't think it's a racism thing. I just think it's an image thing, where they're like, look, Wayne Dupree is a black man and he's voting for Trump. And so they put Wayne Dupree on everything just to counter that narrative. But it doesn't feel completely real in the end either, because it's not. And so, I think the Republican Party is actually in a really tough spot because, I mean, how do they do that without, how do they counter that narrative without doing what they're doing?
You know what? Another thing that I think about is this too. A lot of white conservatives that I have talked to would be like, y'all are what the liberal media and the Democrats are afraid of. They're afraid of black conservatives because the black conservatives tell the truth. I'm like, they're not afraid of black conservatives. They don't care about black conservatives.
No.
But black conservatives to them are invisible. They don't even recognize it. They don't care. And even if they put black conservatives up on the pedestal or whatnot, those individuals get called tokens or props.
Right.
The same things that we say about black Democrats when they put them up on stage. Oh, y'all just putting them up there as a prop.
Well, I'm not allowed to say that. You can say that. I'm not allowed to say that.
As a prop? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
that's the black privilege. You get to say say things like that about Democrats.
It's a back and forth game. I mean, like I said, over the past couple of years, I've been able to look at things. I'm like, okay, Democrats are saying, okay, well, this is what I grew up with. Republicans don't like blacks because they're racist. That's what Democrats say.
Right.
But now Republicans are saying Democrats don't respect y'all and they treat you like slaves. So now you got both sides.
We're calling each other the same thing.
Basically calling each other the same thing, and you have your black voter.
Right, caught right in the middle between the two. Yeah. Well,
it's the same thing. My thing is, you want to win the black vote, start talking about conservatism. Start talking about how it would help the family. Start talking about the values. Start talking about these things, and shut the hell up about what the Democrats want. Just say what Republicans want to do.
Well,
that wins somebody instead of putting people up on stage. Well, back there, Democrats are responsible for slavery. Look, everybody knows that, but that isn't moving the needle, moving people over to vote for Republicans.
Right.
What's not moving the needle is that the message isn't really being shared. The real conservative message isn't being shared to bring people over. A history lesson is being shared that isn't doing anything.
Well, yeah, and I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that a lot of what is created any sort of changeover from Democrat to Republican within like the black community is not the putting people on a pedestal. It's just having a policy, having a real policy. I think there were a lot of black voters that agreed with the immigration stances of Trump more than they agree with.
They do.
Yeah. So I mean, there's lots of things out there that don't require you to make some sort of special effort on promoting this one person because look, they speak conservative things and they're also black. So like just pushing the right issues that black people or brown people or whatever color you might be agree with is far more effective than playing that game. And
exactly.
And what bothers me is that neither party actually has a platform really. There's no platform. There's not policy positions other than kind of socialist stuff.
Exactly.
But there's never any specifics because they can't come up with.
Glad you said that.
Yeah.
Because the platform, the conservative platform, if people read conservative principles, that's the only thing that would grow a country, that would move a country along,
Right.
that would increase and make everything great, is a conservative platform. But like you said, neither of the platforms are being practiced right now. They're just throwing out emotional type of ideas, or spending money to hell's come, and it's like, you just get tired of it.
Well, I was talking just today. I was talking to my sister about basically these same things. Of she's a conservative, but everything in the world is about feelings. It's about your feelings about politics, and
Exactly.
your feelings
Yep.
about this issue, and your feelings about that issue. And
Yep.
I would love to see us get back to what can we really do to fix these problems, instead of how can we make everybody feel better about it. Like, how do we make people feel better about the unemployment problem, or the immigration problem? I would love to hear how we can actually do these things, instead of just let's all feel great.
That's what it is. It's a whole lot of feelings, especially when they get in front of Congress, and Republicans are talking about the law. Uh, how was this law used and such and such? And then when the Democrats get up there, how do you feel about this? It's like it doesn't matter how you feel. Yeah, I mean, seriously, I mean, how you feel, take that outside.
Right.
Did you follow the law? Did you do it the law way, not how you felt about the law? And that's where everything gets.
I don't always agree with Ben Shapiro, but one of the things I always agree with Ben Shapiro about is facts don't care about your feelings.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you're right.
So on that note, Mr. Wayne,
All right,
I want to thank you for coming on. I felt like we had a good discussion,
beautiful.
back and forth. So when is your show going to start again?
Well, it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays
Okay.
now. You can always follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Just type in Wayne Dupree Show, and 12 to 1, 12 to 1, and I look forward to the dialogue. You can, I'm posting y'all's questions and stuff up there if y'all have any questions.
I'll
It's
call
great.
in again sometime. I haven't called in for a while.
Do that.
All right, man. Thank you,
All right.
and I'll see you around.
Hey, good luck in what you're doing.
Thank you.
And I know that there are going to be early times when you want to quit. Don't quit. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep moving, and it's
Push
going to pay off.
push through the push through all the problems.
Oh yeah, it's going to pay off for you.
All right, man. Thank you.
No problem.
I'll see you around.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining me here. I'm going to get going here. I have to eat some lunch. Uh, I started this a little early, and let me get this over here. There we go. Fixing things on the fly. But thank you guys for coming in. I'm glad that the audio was working out better this week. Hopefully we don't have that problem ever again with my microphone. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later.
you.